Hey guys, Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com coming at you from Anaheim, California at Winter NAMM 2016. We're at the Wren and Cuff booth talking to Matthew. We got Fluff on the guitar, and we're listening to one of 3 new pedals, right, Matthew? What's this one called?
This is one that we did with Troy from Mastodon, Troy Sanders, and basically he likes to keep his stuff really simple. I gave him the option he could do anything he wanted with this as far as pedals. He's used the tall font forever, and he didn't want anything fancy. He likes it to keep it simple. He just wanted the tall font in another box with an extra gain section. So it's nothing fancy. He was adamant about me not messing with it, not modifying it. So we put that in there, and basically it gives you an extra level. So you can do your, I think of it as like when you want to go to 11, and you hit this guy, it kicks in another gain stage, and that's all there is to it. If you don't know the tall font's based on the Sovtek.
That's what I was going to say. Let's unpack what that means. So it's basically a Russian big muff with an added gain stage?
Yeah. It's the Dolphin. He's used it. Troy's used it forever and been like a big fan of ours and always really helped us out. And so I approached him about this, and I don't know if it matters, but this is the symbol from their first record, and he's just, I really dig the guy. He's a really cool guy. So.
Okay, so the controls are Distortion. I can't read it.
Yeah, I know. I got to do something about that. It's just like any standard big muff setup. Just volume, tone, distortion. Or am I doing it in the right order here? Yeah. I can't read them either.
And then the leftmost knob is the extra stage.
Right. It could also be used as just a real slightly. You're not gonna hear it in here because you got to kind of crank the amp, but also just could be used as just a regular boost. Like you play her. And it's, but mainly, now you want to go to 11. And I think what I like about it a lot is when you can kick in that extra gain stage, and it doesn't get so noisy that you can't use it. Usually if you stack anything on a big muff, it's just, even the quietest big muff in the world is loud. I mean, it's noisy because you got 4 gain sections, but you can kick it in there, and you're still usable. You're not feeding back all over the place.
So how nasty can this thing go? Because you got the distortion like before noon. You want to boost it up a little bit?
It depends on the pickups. Like those, I think, have a little hotter output. Those pickups, or are they just standard? Okay, cool. Yeah. When you get it, I'm a. But it's funny that you asked that, because of all of our big muffs, the tall font has the lowest output and the lowest distortion, which, part of the reason I think bass players like it a lot, I would say about 50% of our customers on the tall font are bass players, is because the bottom end doesn't just it doesn't get overwhelmed with the lows. And I don't know if you want to call it a secret, but one of the things I feel like with a lot of the muff style pedals you get today is everybody wants more gain, and I honestly wouldn't have known that with this, except for a friend of mine in Japan said, hey, why don't you do a tall font? And I said, all right, I'm going to do the thing component for component, and even with the one that sounded good, I had low output, not a ton of distortion, not a huge mid scoop, but I was like, I don't care, I'm going to do it, and either people are going to like it or not, and it's like one of our best sellers now. And I think it's because, you can still get overdrivey kind of stuff with a big, with the big muff, and it's not just too much, you know what I mean? If you like Gilmore and you want a ton of sustain, we have the Caprit, and that's the traditional, old school, huge V scoop in there. But that's my theory on why bass players seem to gravitate towards that a lot too.
Cool. So next to that is your another new pedal. What's that one called?
That one's called the Irkalla. We've had a lot of like detuned players tend to like our stuff, and the Doom guys, that drop tune, and that's the same thing. I'm all about, I don't know, I've always had a thing with pedals where I like to focus on the lows and try and get them just right, because there's, so much, everybody's like, lows, we need more lows, but I wanted to be able to really drop this guy down, like, if you go into C tunings and that kind of stuff, and retain the presence on it. You know what I mean? So it's like
really, you really want the low end to come through crisply and not disappear.
Exactly.
Is it more of an overdrive or a distortion? Or
well, what's cool is that, and he'll probably demo it for us, is when you do single note lines, it sounds more fuzzy. And then when you go to chordal stuff, it sounds more distortion. You know what I mean? And it's, as overused as the term is, it's really dynamic. You know, you really can play lighter on the strings, and it really cleans up. And then when you dig in, it really, you know, you'll hit the top edge of you know, where things kind of start to compress. And then,
cool.
You know, it really makes things pop.
Why don't we have Fluff play it without it on, and then we can hear it when you turn it on.
Cool. This guy, if you go down and just do some really heavy, like chunky stuff.
I like how the Demon Queen or whatever, her heartbeat like sputters in time with your riffs.
Yeah, it's cool looking, and it actually is doing something. You know, it's not just give me that's
Like a
the
gate
LED.
type thing? Or?
Yeah, well, no, that's the LED. Like you can use an LED
Clipping diode?
Yeah, like Electronics 101, an LED is a diode, and you can use it as a clipping diode. Like Keeley, I think, was the first to do it on this. He would do the DS1 mods. You know what I mean? And he would use the Seeing Eye thing on there, and so I kind of. This has nothing to do with the DS1, but that idea I kind of bit from him a little bit.
You can see the clipping diode throbbing in time with your playing.
It's neat. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
So we skip one down to the end, and that's your other new one?
Yeah, that's our new baby. It's let me kill that really quick. This
Sonder?
super simple setup. You know, it's the one thing is there's a lot of analog. And then you read the fine print, and it's like analog modeled now. Some guys even do it well, but I wanted to keep this one 100% analog. So it's got tremolo and it's got the chorus. And my favorite feature of all is the volume knob, because I feel like chorus pedals never have volume knobs, so you can't get a boost or anything like that. And so I was like, look, I want to be able to get a good chunk of like clean boost from it, because a lot of times in my own playing, I'd be like, oh, I want to do a lead, I want to step on it, and you step on the chorus, and it's kind of
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can get a nice little volume jump from that. I wanted to get as many features out of as few knobs as possible. And so rather than having like the depth, if you turn it down to 0, on most chorus pedals there's still a little bit of chorus in there. We had it so where you turn it to 0, it literally is just a buffered signal going through. So if you want to just use the tremolo, it can be used for that, or vice versa. Got a tap tempo, and I hope I'm not giving you too much info here, but it's got a tap tempo, or you can. So if you're doing this is for the tremolo only, and then, or if you want to take it over and start manually, it'll turn blue for you and let you know, hey, now it's doing, just going by the knob, and then, if you want to do like the Smiths, how soon is now, you can like line it right up with that.
What kind of tremolo is it? Is it optical or?
It's very similar to the Demeter, that one where it grabs it. It's as close as, in my opinion, as you can get to like the Fender tremolo that's in there. Nothing sounds like a Fender tremolo, so I'm not going to lie and be like it sounds just like that, because you need tubes and you need everything to get that exact sound. But I love that sound, and so it's as close as you can. Yeah, as close as you can get to that. And I'm never afraid to say I love the Demeter tremolo, and so. But half people say Demeter, half people say Demeter, so whichever one's the proper one.
So what are we going to hear first?
Cool.
Fluff, you ready to play this tremolo chorus thing?
I'm going to first go real low on the tremolo part of it and give you more chorus. And there's nothing crazy about it. It's just a really solid, good sounding chorus, which is what we wanted. I wanted it to be as usable as possible. I didn't want to put a bunch of crazy features because there's nothing wrong with that, but it's kind of been, everybody's got that covered as far as adding in a lot of extra features and all that. I just wanted something that I would want to use. And, I want a little bit of chorus, some tremolo. I love a tap tempo for when you want to lock stuff in when you're playing. Everybody knows trying to lock into a drummer can be tricky sometimes, especially with tremolo. And like I said, the volume, which is so simple, but I love. Now if
so there's only one bypass for both effects.
Exactly.
So if you only want one of them, you've got to turn the other one down.
Right. So you turn this to 0. Like let's say we only want the trem. It's going to be like tremolo. You know what I mean? It's a pretty hard. So you can tell when I go to 0 on the chorus, there's no chorus. And I mean, that to me is like pretty damn close to a Fender amp. You know what I mean? Then we can do it's got the soft edges to it. And as soon as you tap that knob, you're back on manual.
So how much are these going to go for? Working backward through the pedals we've talked about.
I'm sorry, say it again.
How much are these going to go for? The Sonder and then the other two?
We haven't decided yet. I mean, they're going to be in a similar range right now. This guy, we're thinking somewhere between 250, 270, something like that. I don't want to commit, but somewhere around there. This guy's going to be in the same range as like the tall font and all
around 200 or something.
Yeah, probably a little less on that one. And if they want to, if you want to play really quick, if you want to hear, I didn't really do.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. What do we want to hear now?
Right, if you want to hear just more chorusy and less tremolo, that's the only other thing. And this is kind of both of them set pretty hard. There you go.
Sounds cool, man. Why don't you tell everyone where to go online to find out about all your pedals?
You can find out about them all at wrenandcuff.com, but you just search our name and there's, you might be able to find a shop near you if you want to be able to go in and try them out in person and all that. We try to get as many brick and mortars as we can to support them and they support us. And, otherwise all the usual places online, are pretty stocked up with them. We're doing pretty good with that. And, but for direct info, there's I tend to err on the side of too much info, so there's pages and pages of info about every pedal online, more than most people want. So.
Thanks, Matthew. Thanks,
Thank
Fluff.
you.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Be sure to check out our other NAMM coverage at premierguitar.com.